Good morning, everybody. Give it a few minutes for everybody to log on. Don't suppose it'll be too busy this morning. It's pretty early, but we're going to have a good session here. A little bit of education for Albertans and Canadians. I get real tired of these experts coming forward, and they always cut the narrative out. So we're going to go into that today, things you all need to know. I see someone's online there. I guess this will be a follow-up for later today, but it's really important when we see politicians, former, past, and present, coming forward with narratives, and they'll take, expert organizations, but they'll take the narrative, the bread and butter of that, and completely dismiss it, completely throw it off to the side. So a BOE report, what is that? BOE. That report is on the barrel of oil equivalent and how much it costs, how much energy is taken to make a barrel of oil. Now, 1983, you can look at the report, science and technology. We're not looking at any social policies here. We're looking at the science of extracting oil. Now in Alberta, we see open pit mines for the oil sands and how much energy is required to retain that barrel of oil. So we get that, and they give a number, a figured number. What's changed from 1983 all the way to now is that the social policies of Canada. That means stripping us of coastal access. That means stripping us of interprovincial trade through pipelines, through any kind of major transportation. They've been doing that. This attack on Alberta has been done since 1993. We saw the major attack come from our federal government in 2006 by none other than Stephen Harper. We see it right now, right after Stephen Harper. We see Aaron O'Toole elected, and you know what he's done? Paris Climate Accord. The Agenda failed 21, Agenda 2021 failed. We got Agenda 2030, the re-implementation of a series of these global agendas to take the money and wealth from your resources, Albertans and Western Canadians, and disperse it, not only federally throughout your jurisdiction, but out to global internationals and other countries. That's what they say is fair and equitable. The energy required to put into creating a barrel of oil now has been increased not by science, not by steam injection, not by the cost of open pit mines, but by the destruction, the ultimate destruction of your ability to get to coastal market through social, conservative, or liberal policies. Doesn't matter what you call them, they're one and the same. Aaron O'Toole picks up in 2006 where Ralph Klein said, "Over my dead body." They're going to put the taxation in. They're going to take that Paris Climate Accord that's been failed, Albertans and Western Canadians. It's been failed since 1993, and now we have a global world of UN General Assembly states, not ratified or binding, a promissory to General Assembly that we're going to make this oil, cost this much money through keeping us down by no market access, no large capacity tankers, not for Canada, to ship your product. It's not legal to take Aframax freighters and ship oil out past any coastal waters. You can't do it. It's against world binding law. We can't do it. So why is it that Canada is going with the Aframax freighter? That's because we see the liberals and conservatives in bed with those liberals. That means Aaron O'Toole, because he just ratified it live 4 days ago on national TV, and every conservative is clapping this across Toronto and Quebec. He speaks about it in Quebec. There's your bull report 2020. The cost to create a barrel of oil is going up, up, up in Canada because we don't have the capacity tankers to ship it. You've told the United States that we cannot ship on the open seas. We have no market access. We've been grounded. You're our only customer, so you get a discounted rate. Our oil is discounted now so low that we're under Iran, who is under serious sanctions, who has 10 times the capacity of enriched uranium allowable in the world. Supposedly we're under non-proliferation, even though here in Western Canada, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and the Northwest Territories have more of the highest quality enriched uranium in the world than any other country in the entire world. You can put many of them together. In fact, all 5 Security Council member nations don't equate to the amount of naturally occurring enriched high-quality uranium that Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Northwest Territories have. All this is about resources. Energy drives the world. In this massive population, it is those who control the energy. The big left narrative you're getting, this pressure to increase the cost of your energy extraction, is all done through social policy. It's to strip you of everything you have to put your resources, Western Canadians, on a market for bottom of the barrel, lowest possible prices. I can go into so much bad economics, so much globalism and patheticism of the mainstream parties, the corruption of Canada, especially the corruption of the West through our centralized Laurentian East, that'll blow you all away. Jason Kenney pushed forward Aaron O'Toole, a throwback of Stephen Harper and how they just raped the West for the East. To secure that prime ministership, the Conservatives attached massive liberalized economics, which means no good economics at all. Bill 32 here in Alberta, everybody keeps saying to me, oh, there's some great things in there. The one thing in there that they talk about that's so great, the union dues for unions cannot be used for political purposes unless the union gets permission from the individual member. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah, that's a great policy. I agree. It's a great policy. However, there are literally dozens and dozens of terrible policies placed inside that. I'm not going to get into that as I'm going through these presentations, but I'm going to say this to Canadian business owners, okay? Can you imagine if I created a similar bill and you tell me how liberal this is, and I call it the Fair Business Act, and I say all large businesses will now have a 2% tax rate in Canada and every province. Let's just say I had a federal and a provincial party to do that, and I'm calling it that. Every big business owner, oh, all the money's going to flow in. Everyone's going to say, did you see that Wicked Act policy? Did you love that act? Look how much trickle-down's going to come from that. Now imagine I have 12 other policies inside that act that go like this. Oh, by the way, we're going to call this Section 2. All domestic small businesses will have a tax rate of 14% in every province and every federal of all federal jurisdictions, both sides. What do you think of that? Oh, but I got this wicked large business policy. In fact, we're going to take it a step further. Here's another good policy. I'm going to say every large business, foreign owned by at least the 25%, will get a 1% business tax rate. All medium or individual contractors will pay a 16% tax. All of you would say that's ludicrous, that's globalist, that's socialist. No person in their right mind would support any act or legislation like that, irregardless of promoting that international investment to destroy the domestic. That's what Bill 32 is for labor. And for businesses in the service side, whether you're retail, whether you're a restaurant, and the list goes on and on and on, when you strip people of wages so drastically as the forced labor policies of Bill 32, when you're going to take all overtime from primary sector workers, non-union, unions had great reductions in their ability to negotiate. It all goes to foreign interest, foreign groups, state China, because those are state China corporations. We watched a gold mine in Northwest Territories, completely owned by China now. We watched in Canada divided in half. State China owns half of that. Saudi Arabia's got a 13% share in the oil sands, and Jason Kenney zips his lip. Only 2 months ago, he was running down China, running down Saudi Arabia, and now he zips his lip, and he passed dictator forced labor policies under Bill 32 and says there's more democracy for unions and where their dues go. If I'm working 7/12s regular time, whether union or non-union, because that's what Jason Kenney's passed, do you think I give a shit where my dues go at that point? If you've taken my wages, cut them in half, which we all just went through, union or non-union, in the primary sector, which absolutely 100% of the taxes feeds every public sector industry, all of them, by 100%. And you've cut that money that's going to go back into the revenue side by more than half, because it's 7/12s forced labor with another week off. So twice the people working half the amount of time with zero overtime. That's how pathetic we are here in Alberta. I can go into so much of the United States a lot of people don't understand with the dollar exchange when we get into USMCA, which is something I am completely going through right now. I think I have quite the grasp on it comparatively to anybody's done in Canada thus far, and a lot of companies in the United States. I'm working for an American company right now. I'm going through a lot of American states right now. I'm getting phone calls from lots of Americans, and we're running through this stuff. I can tell you Albertans, they say that we have these mighty wages. When you do the dollar exchange, we're lower than the lowest southern state, where they say the worst labor laws. NDP likes to say that. Do you know the equivalency exchange for Alberta sits at the lowest American state? Ontario average wages only defeat 3 American states out of 50. 3. That's it. Other than that, every other province in Canada is well below the average wage of the average American in the equivalent field. USMCA was developed to bring a North America standardization, so we're not taking away everybody's manufacturing. A lot of that was going to Mexico. For Canada, most of it goes to the Middle East, Asian countries. That's all the Southeast Asia, whether that's China, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the list goes on and on and on. Sorry, everybody. I took notifications off, but I guess I got 15 more minutes. I don't think I'm going to use it. Open your eyes to what's going on. Business owners, especially in the service side, you're not going to benefit from Bill 32. The large multinational corporation benefits from Bill 32. And that strips from you. People who can't make the wages and don't have the money because they're too damn busy giving their checks up for taxes. And I promise you, everybody, the largest source of taxation in this country or in any province comes from the personal income tax. You can lower businesses all you want, take that revenue away, and I recommend that to enlarge business, but put the domestic first. Don't target primary sector workforces, as the revenue generated from that tax source powers our provinces, powers our nation. Canada takes 3 times as much than the American federal government. It's pathetic. People have no idea just how bad Canada really is on centralization and what's being done to the good people right here in Alberta being transferred out. The Bow reports are all bullshit. You heard it here. Look it up yourself. See how much social conservatism, liberalization, this is all radical left, that has gone into increasing the cost of a barrel of oil because we can't ship. We're not allowed to ship. They've stripped our coasts access, and they've stripped our ability to ship out on the open sea. We're not allowed to use Aframax freighters outside of a coastal transverse, which means we have one customer, the United States of America. That's it. We can ship all the way around Canada to the Irving refinery. That's all the way around. And they can ship out on an international through Paul Martin Shipping. How do you like them apples? If Canadians want to get a great return on our investment, follow all the multi-large oil companies for the last 25 years who told you over and over, we must make these ports. We must make these large capacity tankers. What happened? Bill C-48, Bill C-69, and look, we got Aaron O'Toole, who just raised up Agenda 2030. He's landlocking your oil. He's going with the big emitters carbon tax. He wants to crush oil, keep it in the ground, natural gas too. That's your Canada. Left or right, Laurentian, that's who we have in office. If you're not going to vote for any other narrative, vote for Wexit Canada in the next election. If there's no Wexit Canada, vote for PPC, because we are being run by globalist, backstabbing, pocket-filling corruption that's been around forever. There's been not one man or woman to stand against this ever since 2006. Ralph Klein over my dead body. Thanks for tuning in. Don't listen to former conservatives, would-be leaders from other parties. Maybe it was Wild Rose, maybe it was something else. All of these people seem to be gravitated to the same narrative, a promise to the UN General Assembly that has absolutely no say in international law. Check out the IMF, the rules on the sea. You don't get to ship open sea Aframax freighter straight across to China, Indonesia, Middle East, London, or anywhere else unless you have a 2 million capacity tanker. And we're not allowed to have that in Canada now because of Justin Trudeau, and don't fall for it, Aaron O'Toole just signed on to it too. There's your Bow report, our immense cost of oil, and our massive, massive cut to what we get for a barrel of oil, way below Iran, who's under sanctions. Thanks everybody, bye now. Share.